Good morning, everyone. Happy Coffee Talk Tuesday. Hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. Today, we are talking about making connections on Clubhouse. Anyone who follows me on Clubhouse or follows me in real life or follows us on any of our platforms, you will see that I am a Clubhouse addict, right? I am on it all the time. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Omar. Destination Danielle, Cordy Construction. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, so anyone who follows me on Clubhouse or our social, or really our Instagram, you will see that I'm obsessed with Clubhouse. I absolutely love it. Smart 40s, good morning. And I just think that there's such a wealth of knowledge on there, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. But one thing that Clubhouse does allow you to do is build a community, find people that are like-minded, and a term that we've kind of coined on Clubhouse, like-hearted, to help drive you forward in your endeavors and what you're looking to do. So good morning, cardiologist. Oh, I can need more coffee. Cardiologist, there we go. Cardiologist 3, Seabot Davis. Oh, there's one of my Clubhouse buddies, Long Island Beat Festival. Good morning, everyone. So today I'm talking about making connections on Clubhouse. It's the main thing that drives Clubhouse, right? Is making connections and is what allows you to continue to go forward and drive up your follower count and build your community online. So there's 6 key steps that I'm going to give you because I like to keep it nice and short and sweet. 6 key steps that I'm going to give you to help you create these connections on Clubhouse. So first off, obviously, you need to set up a Clubhouse account. If you do have an iPhone, I do have invites available, so feel free to DM me, and uh, I'd be happy to help you and walk you through how to do Clubhouse. Oh, Cardiologist 3 is pausing Breakfast with Champions Club. I'm glad that you hopped on. It was a great show today, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end because I want to get everybody on the viral flash mob that we're doing. So make sure that you stay till the end because it is the first ever virtual flash mob, not viral, first ever virtual flash mob that we're doing, which is super exciting. And I can't wait for all of you to be part of it. Okay, so how to make connections and to grow your Clubhouse. First off, you're going to want to curate your hallway. And the way that you do this is very first, you're going to put in those interests. And if you don't know what you put in when you first logged on, you can actually go to your page, click the top right, and go into your profile. And then in the settings, you'll see your interests. So you can click into that. Smart 40s, good morning. Thanks for joining. So you can click into that and you'll be able to see the interests that you signed up for, that you told the app that this is things that I enjoy, that I want to join rooms about, and see if maybe those interests have changed. Maybe you want to focus more on one thing, or maybe you want to open up your hallway to some other different topics. One kind of key tip, if you notice in your interests, there is an emoji attached to each one of the interests. Those emojis are actually SEO'd for whatever that topic is. So if you really love a certain topic, maybe it's entrepreneurship or faith-driven or health and wellness, whatever it is, if you go into those interests, you'll actually be able to see the emoji that is SEO'd for that topic. So you want to make sure that that is in your bio somewhere. So this way, when people go to ping you into rooms, and for anyone who's not on the app, that means to basically invite you into the room. You can search by emoji or keywords. So that's super valuable information. You want to make sure that those keywords are in, or those emojis are in your bios. Also, make sure that the emoji has a space around anything else that's around it, whether it's a word or another emoji. Make sure that there's a space because it actually won't register unless it's standing alone. So just a little key tip right there. So first off, you want to make sure that you're cultivating and curating your hallway. And the way that you're going to do that is, 1, by the interests, like I said, but 2, also by the people that you follow. So if you hop into a room along with when you first sign up, Clubhouse does give you your suggested follows. But when you hop into a room, you'll see that there's people at the very, very top who are speaking. That's called the stage. So up on the stage, you have people who have a little green, we call it the green bean, but a little green notation next to them. Those are moderators. Those are the people that are in charge of controlling the room. They usually have a back channel chat. And they're basically just guiding the room along, bringing people up, bringing people down, making sure the room flows nicely. Good morning, Brooke J. Lacey, another one of my Clubhouse crew. So the moderators are the one that are controlling the room. The other people on stage are the speakers, and those are the contributors to the room. They're the people that are there to add value, to continue the conversation, and maybe gear it in a way that'll be more intriguing for people, or just to answer questions. So next up, there is underneath that, there is the others are followed by speakers, and then the others who are in the room who are not quite yet followed by speakers. So anybody who's on stage, if they're saying something that really resonates with you, or something that you're just like, wow, that was so useful, you're gonna wanna go ahead and click on their face and tap the follow button. And if it says it's something that really speaks to your soul, there's a little bell next to the follow button, and those are your notifications. You wanna hit that bell and change it to always if they're really speaking to your soul, because this way you will always be notified, one, when they're in a room, but more importantly, when they're speaking in a room. So you can continue to learn and grow with them. Why this is important is because I can tell you, we run a weekly room Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard to about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. And I can tell you every single person that continually shows up. So I know the people who have been there literally since day one in this room. And that is a way to, first off, show that you are supporting us and the show that we're running, but also that you find what we're talking about valuable. And so what that does is I continually take note of it. And so when you go to raise your hand, or if you slide into my DMs, which I'll talk about, I'm more likely to pull you up because I see that you're constantly showing up, right? Smart 40 says, I love Clubhouse, so much valuable information. I totally agree with you. Cardiologist 3 said, make sure you follow Kelsey because she stays in badass rooms. I appreciate that. I try, at least. Sometimes I get pulled into weird rooms and I hit that notification on accident, so don't always follow me around. So the very first thing is you're going to cultivate or curate your hallway, and you're going to do that by your interests and then by following people who you find are super, super knowledgeable. And the reason why you want to do that is because your hallway is actually determined on the people that you follow. So you won't see rooms unless somebody you follow is in that room. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you are following the correct people. All right, so next up, then you're gonna edify people. So what you wanna do is you wanna raise your hand. And trust me, it can be a little scary raising your hand. I remember the first time I got on stage, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna sound silly? Are people even gonna care what I have to say? Just do it, just raise your hand. And when you get up there, the very first thing you're going to want to do is thank the people that are running the room. Now, I was in a room last night and it was very funny, or serendipitous, I guess, that somebody asked this question or said this comment, because it was very on par for the topic today. And they said that somebody in the room, they complimented how they were fluffing people, right? And we don't like to use that term because if you think about it, fluffing has kind of a negative connotation to it. So we like to say we're edifying people, right? We're giving them praise, we're giving them thanks. So I don't want you to think it, oh, I can't say that because I'm being a suck up, I'm being a kiss butt, whatever it may be. It's not that. It's literally just showing appreciation that someone is willing to give their time to give value to you, because nobody who's on Clubhouse is getting paid from Clubhouse yet, right? We're not getting paid to be there. We're just showing up and pouring love into everyone. Knowledge, you know, like I said, I run a room actually 6 days a week. Elsid, another one of my Clubhouse buddies, thanks for tuning in. Joe actually won a audit from me. So Joe, I hope you're doing well. Good morning from LA. Joe's up early. I love it. So you want to edify people, and you want to especially edify people who are pouring into you and giving you the information and answering your questions. So first off, it's a great tip to, when you raise your hand and you get on stage, that you thank the people who are running the room for holding space for it. But then also after you ask your question, and you're going to want to keep it nice and concise. Trust me, we all love it. When somebody comes up, they give like a quick 10 seconds about me, and then you ask your question and you say, my question is, and you immediately ask your question, right? So then everybody is able to answer your question in a very clear and concise manner. And then after that, usually the moderators or the lead moderator gives you a minute to thank the people who answered or who answered your question. So by being able to edify and thank the people that have answered your questions, you're now calling attention to them, thanking them. Make sure that you have something very specific that they said that you appreciated. Like, Kelsey, I love the fact that you said I should edify people, not think of it as fluffing, whatever it is. So by doing that, you're calling them out and you're calling attention to them. And then this way, when you connect with them offline, oh my God, Tom Challen, hi. This is what I look like in real life and as a moving human and not just a face. Tom Challen is amazing on TikTok, another one of my Clubhouse buddies, so make sure you all go follow him as well. So you want to edify people, and then you want to ask questions. And it's beautiful that Tom jumped in at this moment, because how I got in with my core Clubhouse family is I was actually I was gonna go to bed one night and I saw a room that looked a little interesting. So I popped in and I hung out in the crowd for a little bit, and somebody asked a question and I was like, oh wait, I know the answer to this. So I raised my hand and I came on stage and I said, hey, Tom and Nate, who's our other fearless leader, said, hey, Tom and Nate, I love this room. Thank you so much. I actually can answer this question. Do you mind? And they said, no, please go right ahead. Mind you, it was a smaller room, so it was a little bit more of an intimate conversation, but I was able to give value back. So you want to, 1, raise your hand, 2, ask questions, but 3, also be able to give value back to the community, because that is going to get the attention of not just the people who are on stage, the people who are moderating and running the room, but also the people in the crowd, because they may be on the same wavelength as you. So by showing up, by asking value-filled questions, by edifying, and by giving value yourself, you're going to start to attract a community to you, like I have with some of the amazing people I've shouted out on this live. And then when you reach out offline and you slide into the DMs, it's not out of nowhere, right? You're not just saying, hey, loved seeing you on Clubhouse, or heard you on Breakfast with Champions this morning. Great chat. That's not going to work for me, because I can tell you I get loads and loads and loads and loads of DMs. So somebody who DMs me that, I'm just like, oh, okay, they just wanted to DM me. But if you DM someone just like Tom and Nate did to me after I showed up in their room and said, thank you so much for providing value. We appreciated that you shared this, this, and this. You seem super valuable, would love to connect. So something like that. So a DM to me, if I read one that says, Kelsey, I absolutely loved what you said on Breakfast with Champions this morning about not being afraid and just getting out there and do it. The collaboration that you, Tom, Tamara, everyone else has is so exciting. I would love to be on board. Now that is a message I am responding to, because it shows to me that you were there, you were paying attention, and you really took to heart what I was saying. I can tell you right now, once again, we do not get paid for by Clubhouse to be on Clubhouse, but we show up repeatedly because we want to help push people further in their endeavors. And so by us showing up and giving this free advice, the best thing and the greatest thing you can do for us is to come back and say, hey, I tried it. Give me more. This is what happened. I love this. I put it into implementation. There's somebody that is a repeat on the show. His name is Jose. He comes to the social media show since the beginning. Every single time he raised his hand and said, Kelsey, you asked me to come back and ask and tell you how it's going. This is how it's going. He would give us an update, and then he'd come back and say, this is my question. And then he'd come back and say, I have an update. And then he'd come back and say, this is my question. Al Jopez. I'm going to say that's probably 2 words mushed into one, but he's back and he loves it. Great. So Jose kept coming back and back and back and back and back. And every single time I would pull him on stage, I'm like, Jose, great to see you again. How's it going? So then when he slid into my DMs and said, thank you so much for the value you're providing, you're really changing my life, I appreciated it. This was so much more meaningful to me that when he had an ask of me, I absolutely was ready to do it. So when he said, Kelsey, I'm starting a room, would you come? 100%, would love to be there. I showed up. When we were on stage with some major names, yesterday we had Justina from Wilding Out on our stage. He DM'd me on my Instagram and said, Kelsey, I would love to ask a question. Would you mind? And I said, absolutely, Jose, because we have now built this relationship. Good morning, North Fork Box. Hey, speaking of relationships. So we've built this relationship over time, and that's how you make connections on Clubhouse. You curate your hallway with the people that you want to see, that you need to see, the rooms that you need to be in, the messages you want to align yourself with. There's some rooms that I will not go in because that's not my kind of room. There's other rooms that I absolutely have to be in every time I see them because I know that the value that's being given is phenomenal, but also that the people in it are inclusive and they're supportive and they're positive, and those are the rooms that I want to be in. So curate your hallway. Be sure to edify people, especially ones that speak to your soul, the people that are giving of their time in order to make sure that you have all the information you need to go out and be the best person possible. You then want to make sure that you're asking questions. So don't just come up and say, how do you grow more followers on Clubhouse, right? Because that's not a real value-filled question, but you can raise your hand and say, what can I do to provide more value so people follow me on Clubhouse or want to collaborate with me? So that's a really great question because that's going to spark a conversation. So 3 is ask questions. Don't be scared. Just do it. There's no silly question on Clubhouse. Trust me, I've heard some wild ones. Tammy Lee Rose, good morning. Thanks for joining. So next up, number 4 is give value. So I want to say with this, you do have to read the room. So you don't always want to say, if they're not taking comments. There are some rooms where you are doing questions and comments. There are some rooms that are just comments. There are some other rooms that are just questions. So you do want to read the room. If they're doing questions at that time, raise your hand, edify them, ask a question, and then when your question gets answered, when you're saying thank you, it is very possible for you to say, if you don't mind, I do have a quick tip. And when I say quick tip, I mean like 15 seconds or less. So this way, if you say, if you don't mind, could I share my quick tip on the topic? And normally, well, not normally, but most of the time, the lead mod will say, sure, go ahead, just try to keep it nice and concise. We want to keep the integrity of the room. You say, wonderful, thank you so much for the opportunity. 15 seconds, thank you very much, I'm done speaking. So that's a really great way. And then other times they'll say, all right, we're just doing questions at this time, but we would love for you to come back and share it another time. So great, you leave it alone, you walk away. And that way you're still showing that you're able to give value and that you want to give value, that you want to provide a benefit to the room. So number 4, give value. 5, you want to DM, connect offline, but don't just slide straight into the DMs. Scrap is one of my favorite people on this app. He coined the term social digital currency. So it costs nothing to you, but a few double taps, maybe a little bit of your time. So you want to go through, like a bunch of their statuses or their photos or their TikToks, comment on a bunch, show them that you are giving them value because that's what we deem as valuable, right? We live in a digital world. So we love the engagement because that's going to boost our profiles within the algorithm. So you really want to make sure that you're giving some value back to the people that are giving you value. The Navy recruiter, oh, hey, good morning. Good to see you. Cardi, I'll get to you in just 1 second. Let me just finish recapping these and then we'll get to your question. So you want to make sure that you are giving value. So DMing, commenting, liking, and then slide into the DMs. And once again, have a very specific thing. Kelsey, I loved when you said this in this room because I will go from room to room to room. And when someone says, I love what you said in that room. What room? What did I say? I don't know. So So make sure that you are being very specific, and don't just come in with the ask. Don't just say, hey, Kelsey, loved what you said. Can we collab sometime? Start a dialogue with me, start a conversation with me, because I'm way more likely to come to your room or do the thing that you want me to do, make the introduction if we start a conversation. So 5, DM, and then finally 6, collaborate. So I have my people, right? I have 30,000 back channel chats, but I have my people that I speak to every single day. We put on the social media show Monday through Friday. We do the core show on Saturday. And we're just constantly working together. And these are my people because I found them on the app, but also we all have different areas of expertise and we're in different industries. So it's really phenomenal because we're able to pull our audiences from all different places, because we go off into different rooms and then come back into ours, right? And then we're also able to share our audiences. So I know Tom, I think, has like 12,000 followers. Nate has like 15. I'm at a measly 7.2. And so we have people from all over the world. Kate Edwards joins us. She's from Australia. Elsid, who popped in for a little bit, is from the UK. Good morning, Cherie. Oh, I love Cherie because every time I see her, I think, my Cherie Amo. And that's the way that I remember how to pronounce her name, because I pronounced it wrong the first time. But Cherie is also somebody who continued to show up to the social media show and has now kind of been absorbed into our group. And so I love it so much. So definitely collab with people. That's number 6. So Cardiologist 3 said, do you find that your IG name and Clubhouse name should be aligned? So, okay. I'm all about having the connection across the board and everything in line. I want all of my social media names to be the same. The thing is, it depends, because for me personally, I didn't know before I started up that changing your name can be a little difficult on Clubhouse, but I'm doing 2 parts. So even though my social media for my business is connected, I'm kind of building a personal brand on top of that, which is why mine is at Marketing Kels, Kels, for all of you that aren't following me yet. So it really depends on your goal. I personally am okay with having them separate, because I do, like I said, I am building a personal brand on top of my business brand, although they're kind of cross-promotional and they are very aligned. But I do make sure that whenever I am DMing somebody, I always sign it Kelsey, because otherwise it comes from Stark Media Group NY. And if they haven't looked at all the way down to the bottom of my profile or just haven't put that connection together yet, they may not know it's me. Even though we talk on stage and they see me, they may not know it's me, because I don't sit there and say, I'm Kelsey from Stark Media Group. Every time I introduce myself, I just say I'm Kelsey. So it's really up to you, but I'm okay with building a personal brand on it, which is why my 2 usernames are not the same. But in addition to that, once again, it's up to you. I think that it can be. I think that it also is okay if it's not. Okay, did anybody else have a question that they wanted to ask about making connections on Clubhouse? If not, I loved seeing my Clubhouse family on my Instagram. You all are amazing. I can't wait to hop in the social media room in about 30 minutes. And if there's no other questions, thanks again for tuning into another Coffee Talk Tuesday. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next week. All right, have a great day, guys, and a great week. Bye.